Okay, we are recording. All right, happy March. Man, February flew by, right? But was amazing. I mean, this team is on fire, literally. I loved what Mark said on the family call too. I played basketball in high school. And so I love this analogy where he said, you don't call a timeout when you're like pounding the other team. And that's what we're doing right now. We are pounding the other team, right? We're pounding this business. And so we do not want to call a timeout. We want to keep going. We want to keep the rally going. And so, which rally is a baseball term, I get it. But anyways, let's keep doing this. I'm so proud of this team. Congratulations to everybody who promoted. Promote's a big deal. So if you promoted to executive, if you promoted to Ruby, diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, presidential diamond, we had everybody promote to one of those ranks on this team last month, which is so exciting. So congratulations. Two, if you just joined this business in the last week or so, man, we are honored to have you as a part of this team, and way to go. They always say the first step in joining this business is the hardest one that you'll do in the whole business. So just think you already accomplished the first thing that is probably the toughest thing. So jump in with us, learn tonight, and we are glad to lock arms with you. But yeah, if you need to shout out somebody who did promote, or you promoted, or you're going, who's going, right? Who's going for that diamond $10,000 bonus this month, double diamond $15,000, and then triple presidential ambassador of 20 thing. It is possible. It is so possible for you to get there. And so we believe in you. You know, you gotta see it. There's something inside of you, even if it's just a little seed, right? Even if it's just a little faith, you see that, and you don't let anything detour you from going after that, because it is so very, 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 very possible, like beyond possible. Like, just know it's going to happen. And when you decide it's going to happen, it will happen. Yes, Moni Triple. Oh my gosh, I'm loving all this. Headed to Pres Diamond. Yes, y'all, exciting. Okay, so tonight we have an amazing treat for us all. I'm excited for tonight to get to interview these guys. They all went triple diamond this last month. Like, wow, what? That's crazy, right? Honestly, Ruby to Emerald and double to triple are two of the biggest jumps that you will make in this business, especially now with the new charting. And so we have so much to learn from these guys. So I'm excited. I'm not going to talk anymore. I want to hear what they have to say. So we are going to get started. And okay, there you are, Melissa Dean. Girl. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Triple diamond. Way to
yes.
go.
Finally.
That is awesome.
Thank
and
you.
I know we're just, hey, we conquered this hurdle, Melissa. Now it's just like, it's going to be downhill running from here, girl. You ran up the hill. Now, you know, in the races, like, just run faster down the hill and pass a bunch of people. That's where we're at right now. I just know it.
I'll take it.
Okay. I am pumped for you. I'm pumped for you. And so tell us a little bit, because, you know, we have a lot of new people on here, and I know you've been on before, but tell us a little bit about how you got in the business.
Okay, so I have been with the business for a little over 4 years. I started on Christmas Day in 2014. And one of my coworkers, actually, I had been a regional manager for Victoria's Secret for a long time, and one of my managers had joined at Works, actually friends with Sherry Lynn, and she started posting all about the wraps and stuff, and I just had my third baby in 3 years, so I was like, okay, I'm totally interested. Like, what is this wrap situation about? And we had a ton of mutual friends, and they all wanted to know about this wrap, and so she came to me and said, hey, what do you think about doing the business side? And I was like, girl, you crazy. Like, I work 60 hours a week. I commute 3 hours a day. My husband's on nights and I have 3 babies under 3. Like, I can't do it. Like, no way, no how. And so she kind of left it alone, and then she never said anything about it again. And then that year on Christmas Day, I woke up and I was like, man, like something's got to change. Like, I was exhausted. I had been working around the clock. Like, if you guys have ever worked in retail management during the holidays, you're literally 24 hours a day from October to like February, especially with Victoria's Secret because they do semi-annual sale and all that craziness. So you're running a 24-hour operation. So Christmas came and I was like, I'm so tired. Like, something's got to change. I'm going to buy the wraps. It was only $40 more to do the business. So I purchased the kit. I didn't tell anybody, didn't tell my husband, didn't even tell Hillary, like my sponsor, like nothing. And then I sat on it for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And then everybody went to conference and they announced the $20,000 diamond bonus. And at that point I was like, $20,000, like that sounds pretty good. Like, that'll pay for my daycare, you know, because we're in California, it's very expensive. And that was like my mentality at that time. And so I ended up going diamond in 6 weeks from that point and quit my full-time job and became a full-time stay-at-home mom right as my daughter was diagnosed with a kidney disease. So it kind of like all just fell in line. She needed a treatment every day for a year. And had it not been for It Works, I would have never had the opportunity to be able to leave my full-time job and stay home with her. So now, 4.5 years later, I'm triple diamond and definitely a full-time stay-at-home mom and wouldn't change anything.
I love that. And you know, some people, they like to, you know, everybody can have an excuse or everybody can have a reason to work for the business. And I know that you can tend to be by yourself a lot with the kids. And I mean, Carl, we love you and we're thankful for all you do. And so, but I know with that too, yay, Carl! Look at your sugar mama. So exciting. But also, you find time in the midst of all of it, right? Mm-hmm. To work this business because it's worth it.
Yeah.
Right. And when some of the things that you said that, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, when I was really running for Diamond, I really just got up an hour early every day and stayed up an hour late every night until I, you know, just had there was no excuse. I just wanted to get it done.
Right. And you can, if you do that, if you just decide to do it and you do it and you stick to that no matter what, it's like deciding I'm going to work out. Like, I can do that if I really decide to, you know what I mean? You can go diamond if you really decide to. I 100% believe that. Some of the things I loved from your story already is, one, Hillary asked you, you know, so I would say don't disqualify anybody, even though she only asked you once. When you build up the courage to ask somebody, they're probably most likely going to tell you no. You're going to get more no's than anything else, but that no is not a forever no. That ask has planted a seed. You know, it took Melissa till Christmas Day to go, oh, this is something I should be doing. And so it's not your choice to decide if somebody should be asked or not, right? Why should we be any respecter of person? Why should we say no for anybody? Let them say no and plant that seed. But then too, when you're saying they talked about the bonus, right now we have a bonus on the line. So when you're saying that, I'm saying, oh, Stacy, you need to talk about this bonus a little bit more, because that grabs at people, right? You're like, 20,000, I'll take that and I can stay home. And how the Lord worked it out for you to be able to be home with your daughter, which is amazing. Okay, tell us a little bit of, because we all have to overcome stuff when we're working this business. What is something you feel like you had to big time overcome in the midst of this business?
I think for me, the biggest thing was like fear of failing and not doing well at the business, because I had been really successful in what I was doing previously, and to walk away from something that I had been working towards for 18 years was really hard for me, like emotionally and mentally. And, you know, we'd gotten to a point where I could do that, but then it was like, man, but what if I fail? What if something falls apart? Or like, what if, you know, whatever. And so I had lots of, you know, teammates unfortunately get recruited to other teams. And I think for me, I always felt like I was like plugging like holes in a sinking ship. Like, oh man, somebody left. Let me put a DT here. Oh man, somebody left. Let me put a DT here. And I was just so afraid of failure that I was so blinded to the people on my team that were actually like really wanting it and working it. And it wasn't until like literally like I hit rock bottom with myself that I realized that there were people on my team 10 levels deep, 14 levels deep, 16 level deep that really wanted this business. And I literally started over. I had been built for presidential. And then I had a couple people, I had a huge team recruited to Thrive. And then I had a second huge team recruited to Modere, went all the way down to Ruby, built myself all the way back up, but the time I built it back, I really worked with the people that wanted it. I paid attention to the people that were asking for help and like the ones that stayed, you know what I mean? Like the ones, and then, there's a couple people that weren't even on my triple chart that stuck out to me. And I was like, I'm locking arms with them. And we literally bumped them. I mean, they literally compressed 14 levels within weeks because they were getting the time and attention that they needed and the training that they needed. And I just had to kind of give that up. And I think that was like my biggest thing to overcome was like knowing that no matter what I do, I'm not going to fail, because we always say like deans don't quit. Like we're never going to quit. So, we just have to work our way out of it. So I think once I got over the fear of failure and like really, paid attention to the handful of people that were working versus the large amount of people that weren't working. I was so overcome with like, stress and anxiety over the people not working and trying to get them to work that I was really not even paying attention to the ones that were working. So that's been like my biggest thing. And I mean, we've doubled and tripled our volume every single month after month after month since August. Even through the holidays, we doubled, and it was just really focusing on the right people and not focusing on the wrong people. So I would say that has been like my biggest thing to overcome and my biggest thing to learn, and knowing that if you're with the right people and you're surrounded by the right people, that you're going to be okay. So, yeah. And deans don't quit.
Deans don't quit. I love that. I'm adding that to my call to affirmations. Deans don't quit, nor do Akalas.
Exactly.
We always say we're not afraid of failure. We're only afraid of not trying. And so yep. I think we just keep working with that. And just with what you're saying, I'm like, yep, I needed that reminder one more time that, Stacey, when you work from a place of fear, it's a totally different perspective than when you work from a place of, we're doing this, just confidence. And you remove that fear mentality and you work in that confidence mentality and you look for the good. Because whatever you focus on, right? If we're based on fear, then we're thinking like, oh, I got to fix this. I got to fix this. But then if we start to, and that's all we focus on, then everything's falling apart. But like you said, there's people right there working. So if you go, oh, I have people working. I have a rock star team. Like these guys really want it. I'm going to lock arms with the people who want it and move forward. And so I love that. Okay, tell us.
Oh, go ahead. And I'll just say real quick, there's only one person on my triple chart that was with me when I was built for presidential. Mm-hmm. So in my whole rebuild back up to triple, it's all been brand new people that wanted it, that had the fire. And of course, like my right hand's always with me because she's my best friend. So she would, so like that leg always stayed, but everything else, like, it's just crazy. You just never know.
Yeah. And it's probably built a lot healthier than the other way, because with people.
Very, extremely, yeah.
I love that. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what it looks like that you do every day.
So every single morning, I always check volume, and I always update my charts first thing in the morning, because I want to know where my day starts versus like where the day ends with the team, and like who's bringing in the volume. And throughout the day, I update charts, and every single night I always screenshot where I'm at. And I have 4 years of volume by day, every single day, to see like where I'm at versus the previous month versus the previous year, to always kind of remind myself like how far we're going, but then also to see like where am I at compared to this month, compared to last month, to the goal that I have going forward, and who's bringing in the money, who's not bringing in, who do I need to spend some more time with. So those are like my non-negotiables. I chart every single day, screenshot in the morning, screenshot at night. And then I always message. I feel like after I kind of write everything down in the morning, I will touch base with all my leaders, and I will send them kind of like a daily challenge, like what's your goal? And then whatever I challenge them to do, I do. So if I'm like, today I said, I want you guys to send 50 host to post messages, post this post and do, A, B, and C. And then we all do it together. So like, I'll never tell them or ask them to do something that I'm not going to do. So I try to set the direction first thing in the morning and then kind of just follow up throughout the day. But I'm constantly enrolling customers and distributors alongside with them. So it just kind of depends day by day, but messaging is a non-negotiable. I used to be like super 100% adding to my network, but now I have to unadd to my network so I can add more to my network. But I'm always working with them to add to their networks because I think that was a huge part of our growth so fast. But I think really just locking arms with my leaders and setting the expectations for the day and seeing what they're doing with their teams. And we're really working on more of like a layered leadership approach instead of like, me kind of bringing everything down, like they're coming up more like meeting halfway, which is amazing. So.
I love that. So you add to your network, or you're adjusting your network every day. You're charting every day. You're messaging every day. You're messaging your teammates, but you're also asking people to be product testers, join your team.
Yep.
Every day.
Yeah. I probably send 50 to 100 messages every day.
Okay. And then posting. Posting
as I can.
Yeah.
Like some people say, don't post that often or only post 2 or 3 times a day. Like I post all day long just because I'm online. And it's always, like today we took our kids bowling. So that was my office view today as we went bowling, So I post a lot about my lifestyle and I post a lot of like funny stuff because I don't know, I like to keep things funny and light. So I try to keep, my page like really light. And so people aren't like, oh my gosh, it works. There's a whole lot of my family on there. And there's a whole lot of jokes about being a mom and like hot mess blondes. And you know what I mean? Like, I just try to keep it fun, but I do post a lot. I probably post at least 2 to 3 opportunity posts a day and maybe 1 product post. And the reason why I don't post as many product posts is because I do a whole lot of host to post. So I don't feel like I need that on my page as much because my network for host to post is in everybody else's feeds.
Yeah. So. Love that. And adding to your stories. Yeah, I know you always have great stories in there, which is not an opportunity we don't want to miss out on.
Yes.
Okay. Love it. And following up. I know you're a big follow-upper. Yeah, keeping your list. Melissa Dean is like an organized, I'm like, come organize my life, please, Melissa. That's how I feel whenever I talk to you. I'm like,
I'm very red. Very red.
Yes, I love it. Okay, awesome. We're going to come back to you because I have another question at the end.
Okay.
But, this was so good. So good. Thank you so much. Okay. Uh-oh. All right, Jen.
Hello.
Congratulations, Jennifer.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yay, triple diamond, girl. I remember the first time I met you. I remember meeting you at training at Sherry's house. I remember all those things. So I'm so excited for you right now. And I just think you're amazing. So congratulations on going triple.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about how you got in the business.
Okay, so I've been in the business for about 2.5 years now. And when I first was looking back at this time, 2.5 years ago, I was a mom and I just had 1 little baby girl and I was staying at home with her and life was great at the Whistler house. We had more play dates than you could ever want, need, or desire. I could host a fantastic party. I would organize every play date known to man. And I was thinking about it and I was like, dang, I think I was just searching and thriving for something to fill me up. I was doing the great mom thing. I was doing the great wife thing, but I think some part of me was missing. And I remember I'd be rocking my baby to sleep and she'd fall asleep in my arms and I'd be scrolling on Instagram, and this little bouncy blonde who lived in my town, Sherry Lynn, she had just gotten an ambassador bonus at that point. And it came to the point where I was waiting every day so that I could look and see what was going on in her life and what was going on with this business. And I was not friends with her. we were not connected on Instagram. She never once asked me, but she did put up a post that, told her story. And she said, if you're ready, message me ready. And I kept going back to that probably for a few weeks. I called in my friends. I said, who is this girl? Is she real? Is the money real? And then finally one day, I got that 5 seconds of courage and I texted her ready. And I was like, what have I just done? So, we talked and I jumped in and kind of like Mel said, I didn't do anything for a little bit. I think that I waited to tell my husband that I did it. And I was really quiet about it at first because I didn't know if I was going to succeed. I didn't know if this was going to be something that I was going to stick with or if it was going to be something that, I was just going to check out. It's not for me. But I called my best friend and she said she would try a product. I called my sisters and I got my numbers just kept growing little by little. So after 7 months, I went diamond, and that was a huge, huge jump for me. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just went diamond. And then I sat there for a little bit, and I had a son, and, life happened, and I had a really strong, good friend who was built pretty high. She quit. So I kind of sat for a little bit, and then a year later, after I went diamond, then I went double diamond. And then 8 months later, then I just went triple. So here we are. Oh, and I took my husband diamond this month too.
Which is awesome. I love the opportunity we have to, bring in a dual income through this business. It's something awesome. I always remember Jen saying, I got to buy something for my husband. That was a big deal to you, right? Mm-hmm. At the beginning, like I get to do this. And so again, I'm sitting here going, don't disqualify anybody, because we sometimes think, oh, we need the people who we think really need it, and Jen wouldn't be somebody that we would probably think really needs it. But even listening today to a call, somebody was saying, this was a way I get to help people and feel like I have a purpose. And that's what this has given all of us, a way to do that. And so you have been consistent through it all. Even though life happened, you're still showing up. You're still coming to everything. So why don't you share something you feel like was a hurdle you had to overcome at some point in the business, whether it's right at the beginning or in the midst of it, or something that kind of keeps coming back up?
Man, you know what? I had to get over myself. And that is still something that I have to do every single day. We chose a business and an opportunity that's not the normal. A lot of our friends are in very professional situations and lives and, corporate America and that stuff. Luckily for myself and my husband, our families are both very entrepreneurial. So we have that behind us, but the circle of our friends is not. So I think that was always in my back of my mind, like, oh, they're going to be judgy of what I'm doing, or they're going to think that, I'm just in one of those, pyramid schemes or whatnot. So that's kind of always been in the back of my head. And also just thinking that, am I worthy of all of these blessings? And I know that I've shared that with a lot of people before, but that's still something that always comes up. Like, am I worthy of this? Am I worthy of making these dreams happen for my family? Am I worthy of these huge dreams and huge goals? And, if you have ever had those concerns, man, y'all are on the right team, because our team will let you know that, yes, you are worthy of everything that, you have on your table now and everything that is going to be coming to your future. And you are worthy of this and so many more blessings, as long as you're willing to work for them, because we are made for so much more than this, y'all. Like, God made us to be wonderful and bright and human and, thriving individuals, and that's what he wants for us, and we, each and every one of us, deserve that and can work towards that.
I love that. Okay, take a second, Jen. If you were to talk to the Jen 10 months ago that was really fighting these thoughts, what would you say?
You did it, girlfriend. Like, you are working towards it. I would just say, the people who love you are going to love you, and the people who are going to support you are going to support you. And, you know, the opportunities that you have, the opportunity to, you know, ask somebody if they want to, as small as it is, try the keto coffee, try it. They might, you know, that you could be giving somebody that opportunity, you know, to lose 40 pounds. You know, my husband lost 40 pounds and it has changed his life. Like, it's legitimately changed his life. You know, ask somebody if they want to join your team for $20, because you never know what that can do for their family. You do never know what, you know, if they get a fast start bonus, what that $99 is going to pay for. You have no idea the impact of what we have in our hands, and we can't be selfish with it. We have to share it with everybody, whether it's the business, whether it's the products. Like, these can impact so many people, and it's our duty and responsibility to share it, because why should we be the only ones with these great, huge blessings in life? Like, everybody deserves this.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love you. I love your heart. I love that. I'm excited for tonight because we have so many different personalities on here, and it just, but we all come from a place that we really want to help people in the end. And I love that. Okay, tell us a little bit about what you do every day.
So every day, you know, I'm like a steps to success girl. Like, I'm not a big masses in person. So I take a lot of time, like Melissa said, like, I'm really connecting with my leaders. And I think that I've tried to do it on my own, and that's not the way it's worked for me. But when I try to do it with my team, that's what's working, you know. And it just wasn't myself that promoted. It was Julie Neal that promoted, and Jenna Crisp and Stephanie. It was everybody that promoted. And it was everybody joining in together and, you know, just locking arms and seeing what everybody needs. Mm-hmm. So I also look at my downline orders every day just to make sure that, you know, stuff's getting transferred and put in the same spot, because we're growing like wildfire. Like, there's so many new people, and, you know, somebody can be taking off and they joined 4 days ago, and all of a sudden they have 70 teas and 11 customers. So for me, that's just where we are right now. It's amazing time to be on this team. So for me, looking at seeing exactly where everybody is really huge to make sure we're getting put in the right spot. So of course, I'm always posting, always letting people know about the business and the products, doing a lot more lifestyle on my Facebook page, and then, you know, just pulling up my stories with product. And that's, you know, where we're getting kind of before and afters thrown up everywhere. My husband does have a great before and after, so that's been a little bit more, I'm using that more right now, expanding my network, and asking people. Mm-hmm. Those are kind of my core things that I do.
I love it. If y'all have been on Tips from the Top before, or heard any leaders talk about what they're doing every day, you start hearing the same things repeated. And at some point you got to go, oh, that's what I should be doing. You know, posting, following up, asking, and incorporating my life within the business. And then I love that you talked about your husband using products. And I know Nicole's going to be on here in a little bit, and her husband had incredible results with the products as well. That builds your that builds your business. But, you know, Joel and Stephanie Dunn, Joel always be like, first thing you're going to do is you're going to buy the product. Then when it gets to your house, you're going to open the product and put it in your mouth or on your stomach or whatever it should do, because when you start using the product is when your business is going to grow that way. And so great. Okay. I'm going to come back to you two for some more questions here in a second. But thank you, Jen, so much for sharing.
Of course.
Okay. All right. Melissa, where did you go? You're on my front screen and you're not here anymore. Okay, we have to go a different way. Oh, there you are. Yay, thanks for waving. I see you.
Hey, thank you. I'm so honored to be on here tonight.
Melissa, we're so excited to have you on. Congratulations, girl. You are triple diamond. One of our 4 triple promotions this month, Melissa, and I know you so deserve it. I love it. I know you and Melissa's Dean's name. I mean, Tracy's on here too, but as far as the people who went triple tonight, you guys are always showing up in those top enroller lists right there. So I know we have stuff to learn from you tonight, but why don't you just share a little bit of your story?
Okay. Do I need to introduce myself? I'm Melissa Reese.
Sure.
I'm Melissa Reese. I've been with the company for 3 years. March 1st of this year made it 3 years. So it's my 3-year anniversary. Every year I try to make a goal, like, you know, yes, of course I want it to be faster, but anyways, I'll go into that here in a second. So I started up with the business because I actually needed extra income. So not necessarily did somebody have to come and ask me. I don't think I've ever been asked to join It Works before with anybody. So, but I knew about the company before because back like in 2012, I actually, you know, tried to rap. I met a girl at our Coliseum here in the parking lot. She didn't want to meet me at her house. I don't know, it was super weird, super awkward. She just gave it to me, but she didn't explain really what I needed to do, like, with it. She told me that the instructions were on the back of the rap, and so I was like, okay. She's like, just drink plenty of water, 45 minutes. You know, it was kind of easy and simple the way she kind of just told me about it. So I was like, okay. I bought one from her, you know, because she was like, at the time I thought $59 was a lot. You know, we weren't in the situation that we're in now financially, and so then I was like, $59 was a lot for me. And then she never asked me to join. I just asked her about the wraps because I would always see it, you know. And so I met her, got the wraps, whatever. So that's how I knew about it. Come 2016, we got into this, you know, new house. We bought our first home, and it was just so exciting for us. And so oil field went down 3 months into me being living in this house. And so it like really was like, my husband's checks weren't paying, like they were pretty much paying for our house, not for like my car payment, my bills, or anything like that. And so I started looking, and I was like, okay, I can work, you know, but if I work, I hate to say it, but I don't care. I already owned up to it. I'm a high school dropout, 16, got pregnant, don't have, you know, all that stuff or whatever, you know, the fancy diploma, or didn't college, nothing like that. And so I was thinking I could go work, but I had 3 kids, now 4, but I had 3 at the time. And it was just hard. You know what I mean? It was hard. We were trying to figure out what we needed to do. I was trying to figure out something. If I went to go work, I was going to have to pay for daycare. Daycare is obviously expensive. My kids were in school. It's like, what do I do? Right? So I literally Googled everything, how to make money fast online. There was so many scamming websites. You know, you can play bingo and win money, right? But you have to put your card on file, all this crazy stuff that you can learn if you type in, you know, I need extra income from home. So then I went to Facebook. I got on, and I don't even remember how I found my sponsor. I know that I may have put in the search engine, how do you make extra income from home, or something about extra income. I don't know. This girl popped up. I seen her. It says that she claimed over 30,000 in bonuses. And I was like, oh, and it works, right? The wraps. And I was like, I know about that. So to me, I'm thinking wraps are like Scentsy. You know, I didn't think it was a scam. I just thought, you know, it's a hobby, something that, you know, people do on the side. And so, I walked in asking her questions. I only had $200 to our name, okay, for 2 weeks. And I was like, I need money. We need something, you know? So she told me that it was $99 to join. She gave me the information. She told me what it was. I was like, you know, like I only have $200 for 2 weeks. What do I do? So I talked to my husband. And so not a lot of people know this, but I used to, let's go back, Scentsy. I used to do that like maybe in 2010. It's been forever. I used to do that, but I only did it for a month, and I only did it to support a friend. So I didn't necessarily commit into the business. I kind of just like signed up to help her. And so I already knew something about what it was about. And so I told my husband, well, he told me no. He's like, no, because you're not going to stay consistent with it. It's going to be a waste of $100. You tried that kind of thing before. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it. Like, we need it. Like she says, there's $1,000 bonus, you know, because there was a Ruby $1,000 bonus. And I was like, she said I can get it in a month. She said I could get weekly 99 bonuses. And he's like, that's how they get you. That's how they make their 99 bonuses. And so I was like, you know, whatever. So of course he goes to sleep. And I have access to our bank, right? So I'm one of the wives that don't listen when your husband says no. I got the card. I sent her the information, and boom, she signed me up. The first month I went Ruby, got that $1,000 bonus. I went after it because I wanted it and I knew what I was capable of doing, but because of my why and because we needed that extra income, like it was so crazy how fast I went. And so yeah, 7 months later, I promoted to Emerald, got on that It Works cruise, the first, or I think it was the second cruise, but my first one with It Works. And then a year later, I promoted to Diamond and just been going so far.
That is awesome. And I thank you for sharing your story because it is important to share. And I know you're at conference, and even when, Courtney Sharp was like, everybody has to share their story. It's important. It's part of you. And I mean, you're brave for sharing it, but girl, own it, because you should be so proud of that. And here's the thing, that is like, so speaking, when you decide something, when we all make a decision to do something, we can do it. That's just right where it is. And you had a why that made you work. And so I think if anybody's sitting on here watching right now and your why isn't making you work, we may need to dig a little bit deeper, right? But you're like, I told my husband, I'm going to get that $1,000 bonus and I'm going to go for it. And so, and what a gift that became, and the turnaround was right there for you. I love that. Okay. What is something you feel like you really had to overcome?
Okay, so I wrote my notes down. So let's see, I have to do this. Okay, so it was doubting myself. Doubting myself and judgment were my two things. Doubting myself because I felt like I could never be at where I am at today, you know, and it seriously makes me want to cry about it. Like I'm a big baby, you know, because it means so much to me that I've made it this far, not knowing a year ago, not even 3 months, 2 months. Well, actually this year, whenever, you know, this year I was like, after conference, I was like, they announced everything and I was like, you know what? I want to do it again, because every year I have, like from Diamond, I promoted in a year, my first year to Diamond. My second year I promoted to Double. And so this third year I was like, I made it a goal. I said, I'm going to do it by March 1st of my anniversary, like I try to do every single year. And if I hit it, I hit it. If I miss, that's okay. I'm that step closer. And so I did it. I went all in. I was the leader that I was doubting myself to be. I started connecting with my team because that is very super important to do that. Not only business wise and just messaging them like, hey girl, hey, you know, about the business, but actually like getting to know your distributors, your people that you work with. They're your best friends. They're not your distributors anymore once you sign them up. They become your family, your sisters, because not, like I said, you get personal with them. You don't want them to run away from you or feel like you just threw them out there to know nothing. And that's just not something that I had to overcome, that of not just seeing them as distributors, but as my family as well. And so that's one thing that I have overcome, and judgment. When it comes to lives, that was one thing that I was real scared of. Or even getting on here, I'm overcoming it because I'm so nervous, and I get that way, and it's just I'm scared of judgment, like what people are thinking, stuff like that. And now I don't care.
I love that. I am right with you. I can get the fear of judgment paralyzes me too. It's like, I'd rather not do anything. Then I'm like, then I didn't do anything. You know, I'm like, oh, Stacy, you have a little check here in yourself. And I think sometimes I'm like, I don't think people are thinking about me as much as they're thinking about themselves. You know what I mean? And so sometimes we have to overcome that. But let's dispel something right now, because you just brought up again, and I'm like, I love that you did this, because you're like, I had to overcome belief that I could be that. And there are people on here right now, they look at somebody, whatever the leader is you choose to look at in this business, or the 5 leaders that you choose to look at in this business, and you're like, I could never be them. So maybe I don't want to be successful because I don't want to be that leader, right? But because you don't see yourself with those qualities, but your journey, Melissa, your journey has made you the leader that you are. Every step that you've taken that's been brave, you take that next brave step, you take that next brave step, and that builds you into the leader that you are. And so when everybody's sitting here going, well, I could never be that. Yes, you can. Just take the next step. Yeah. Take it scared as heck, but take it. You know what I mean? Just walk out and do it, because I mean, you right there are an example of it. And I love that. I'm like, man, you just inspired me all over again. Sometimes I can get so frozen in that. And so I love that. that you have really done that. Okay, tell everybody a little bit about what you do every day. What are your non-negotiables?
Okay. So one thing that I do, of course, we all take our kids to school in the morning, or whoever has kids, we take them to school. But, you know, one thing that I do like to do, and I do try to do it before I even get out of bed, you know, is post. That's one of my things. Like, what do people do every single morning is how I keep it. Like, we all grab our phones. I know I grab my phone to check my messages. I don't know if it's just business wise, but I always do. I always check my phone. People go to the restroom. TMI. Hey, we all sit there. We know we all do. People are on Facebook. People are scrolling. They're on their way to work scrolling. You know, we shouldn't be texting and driving, but we all do it. So I just feel like everything is from the tip of our fingers. And so it's so duplicate. You just post a motivational business, especially business. People hate going to their job in the mornings if they don't like it. Products, I mean, even the night before, a before and after picture or something, because in the morning, that's what they're going to wake up to, especially if it's late at night and we know, like, you know, people go to work or whatever. But yeah, I lost train of thought. I'm sorry. It happens when I start talking.
That's okay. You post?
Yeah, I post, I do that, and then I go take my kids, I come back, and I get with my team, I see where everything's at, I look at the charts, especially the numbers, and this is so funny, because Melissa Dean said it, Nicole just said it, and so, yeah, I feel like we do have all different personalities, but in some way, we all try to do the same thing, and so, I just try to keep up with the charting. I don't necessarily take pictures, but I do try to remember my number the night before, stuff that I never used to do before. I never used to do any of this before. And I think that's, again, where you have to overcome of who you can be and start doing it. Like, yes, it does take work, but nothing is going to happen for us. Nobody's going to do it for us. You know what I mean? My upline can come to me and tell me, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. But at the end of the day, are you going to do it? You know, you have to see this as a real business. And if you're treating it like it's a hobby, you're not going to get far, and nobody's going to want to join with somebody that's in and out. And I'm just being completely honest. Like, you have to be consistent, because I am one of those that doubted myself. And as soon as I start being consistent, I start seeing the numbers roll in. I start seeing people sticking with me. And the moment that I fall off, because I got pregnant, got really sick, almost lost my baby, probably got sick myself. But I promoted Double Diamond, you know, at that time. And it was like, I did it, you know? And so it's like, now I'm in the position and I have runners and I have my team, and they're just so amazing. And I couldn't ask for a better team. And it's like, just be consistent with them, get to know them, and just keep doing it. And so I connect with my team. I connect with them, Zooms. I added a couple of girls to Marco Polo. Like, it's just, let's make it live now. Let's see each other every day, you know? You just get very personal with my team. And so those are the things that I like to do daily. I go, I post, I try to do lives daily. If not, I do a lot of voice memos, just to show like I'm a real person. I don't try to scam out my Facebook with a bunch of it work stuff. Maybe at the end of the month I did with a bunch of before and afters, because I needed those customers. But other than that, no, like, I just try to mix my baby in a lot. I know I have 3 other kids, but it's like you have him more than I have my other ones because they're at school. So I post about him a lot. You know, just think about, what do you get hits off of more? Is it your pictures, what you're posting, you know, and keep posting those. I noticed, like, you know, how Melissa Dean said, post about funny things, show that you have a sense of humor and it's not so serious, you know, especially on lives. Like, when I'm talking about the cleanse, I'm like, it's not one of those, it's not one of those that you got to be pinching your butt cheeks and I'm like laughing and I'm like, you know, hold the baby, I gotta go or something. No, definitely not like that. And so I just try to have a sense of humor, stuff like that, not so serious. Don't try to act like somebody you're not. Be yourself, understand the products the way you do it, and definitely be a product of the product. So yeah.
I love that, girl. You are on it. And man, I'm so proud of you. Okay, we're coming back for one last question here at the end, but thank you for sharing your story, what you've overcome, and just what you're doing every day. You're amazing. And I'm like, yep. I'm like, I wrote down leadership's a muscle. That's what Melissa reminded me right now. It's a muscle we grow and we get to work. All right. Okay. All right, Nicole, congratulations.
Oh, hi.
Exciting. Girl, triple and Feb, you did it.
So crazy.
You said Sherry's going present Feb, I'm going triple and Feb, and you did it. Congratulations.
I'll just start talking until it really happens, you know?
Hey.
I said, I was in people's living rooms as a Ruby, and I'm like, I'm getting a $10,000 diamond bonus. And I said that for 8 months before I really got it, but I knew it was going to happen.
See, you spoke it. You spoke it, and there's power in our words, which is amazing. Okay. Tell us about how you got in this business, a little bit of your story.
Okay. So Ryan and I were somewhat newly married. And so we both were married before. We both had kids before. And we both met at church after we had got divorces, and everything was just, it was not pretty. And so we decided if we're going to get married and we're going to try this again, we need to do it the right way. And so we had both started going to the same church, and our girls both went to the same private Christian preschool. And so we ended up meeting Kelly and Andrew at church at our like Wednesday night young couples group. And so Ryan and I were like the broken, like baby Christians there. And so we were just there to like learn, and ended up, becoming friends with, all the people within that group. And then Kelly and Andrew ended up moving to Texas. And Ryan and I had just had a lot of life happen. And we had a lot of court fees and divorce and just a lot of stuff, And so we were just really just trying to pour into church and just be just really do everything the right way. And the first baby that we ended up having, we had lost. And then we went to the church group from the time that happened, and then having Courtney. And so there was just so much history, within that church group. And so we just really loved and valued everybody that was a part of that. And, we laugh now because we're we better save. We had to save all week. We did Dave Ramsey, all of us in the church group. And so we'd save our envelopes all week long so that we could go to dinner or lunch after church on Sunday. But it wasn't fancy lunch. It was taco truck lunch. And we still had to save envelope money for that, So it was just such a fun time, and we met such incredible people. And Kelly and Andrew decided they were going to move, which we weren't super happy about. And they moved. And then Kelly called me. I mean, we kept in touch, obviously, back and forth a little bit, but she called me one day and she said, "Hey, I want you to do this thing with me." And she goes, "What do you think about making $500 a month?" And I was like, "No, I ain't doing nothing for $500 a month. That's not going to happen." And Courtney was 3 at the time, and I was going to school, online school, to become a dietitian. And I was like, when she goes into school, I'll be done with school and I can go get a full-time job, and it is what it is. And so then she's like, "Well, my friend Sherry just got a $10,000 bonus." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, what do I have to do for that? I don't care about 500. I want 10,000, And so she's like, "Okay, so that means you have to go diamond." And I was like, "Okay, I don't know what that means, but I'm going to do it." And so I was like, "What's your friend's name again?" Yeah. She's like, we didn't even have charts yet. I didn't even know what an e-suite was. She was like, "Okay, so take out a piece of paper, and I want you to draw 24 boxes. And tonight, y'all, this was meant to be tonight. Ryan found it. Kelly, you don't even know this yet. This was the journal I took to, and this was my first diamond chart." And Kelly was just like, "Draw your name in a circle and draw 24 boxes. And you have to fill all those boxes and you get a $10,000 bonus." And I was like, "Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do it." So, yeah. So I wasn't really sure. I never thought it was a scam, but kind of the same with Melissa. I just kind of thought it was something people did as a hobby, and some people got lucky and made money and some people didn't, And so I was like, okay, well, I don't want 500, but if Sherry got 10,000, I want to know who Sherry is. And I want to know that Kelly's in a picture with her because she said she really knew her, and all of this stuff. And so I stalked Sherry's Facebook, and then I found this like old picture of like Kelly and Sherry together, and I'm like, okay, babe, look, she really knows her. Like, this is real. And so it took me like 6 days of like just stalking Facebook pages, and I'm sure I stalked yours too, Stace. But so I joined, and then I just didn't care about executive. I skipped it. I went straight to Ruby because there was a $1,000 Ruby bonus. And then didn't care about Emerald because there wasn't an Emerald bonus, but there was a Diamond bonus. So skipped over Emerald. And I remember the day that I went Emerald, I don't know, it was the 15th, 16th, something of the month. And Kelly's like, you're Emerald. I have to make you like, send me a picture. And I was like, no, don't post that. Like, I'm not done yet. I'm going Diamond. Like, don't post Emerald. That's embarrassing. Like, I wanted that $10,000. I had been telling everybody I was going to get it. So like, I didn't want her posting about Emerald, and she did anyways, and it's fine. But, so yeah. And then that month that I went Diamond, actually, they announced an Emerald bonus of $2,000, and they doubled the bonuses. And so I actually earned $22,000 in bonuses that month. So it was definitely a God thing. Cause I mean, I remember fighting, clawing, screaming, bleeding my eyes out, trying to go Diamond. And it just, every month I was just not hitting it. And then of course the month I hit it, you know, I get 22,000 instead of 10,000. So obviously everything happens for a reason. And, yeah, now triple, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You took Ryan right with you too, which is awesome.
Yeah. He went double this month.
Yeah.
Or last month.
So that was 40,000 in bonuses you guys earned last year.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Okay. Yeah. I'm listening to it again. I'm saying, guys, if you're not shouting about these bonuses, you better start, because here's another one, talking about how that motivated her. And okay, so tell us what's one of the biggest things you've had to overcome in the business?
I think that was just like worthiness, like, and that was just kind of like a life lesson I had to learn overall. Like I said, Ryan and I we came from such a different place, and we created a circle of good people. But yet we didn't feel like we fit in our own circle that we created yet. And so, I remember telling Kelly one time, I said, look, if I have to be you or Stacy or Sherry, I just have to bow out now. Like, I can't. I didn't go to Bible college. I didn't, you know what I mean? And so I felt like I had to be in this like box, you know? And so that was something I had to like realize. And even at the Diamond retreat, we just had, Stace, when you said, look, God already gave you all the favor. Like, you just have to walk in it. And I was like, I'm always like praying for like favor, like, Lord, like, can I, like, if you have any left over after you give it to Sherry and Stacy and Kelly, can you like put some on me, you know? But you just saying like, he already gave you all the favor. Like, we just have to actually walk in it. And I think that gave me like a sense of like confidence. And I think just getting to know you guys, saying this the best way possible, like, you're not perfect, you know what I mean? Like, nobody is. And so I think sometimes we just look up to people so much that we feel like we can't be them, and that's what I had to learn is with the Courtney Sharps. And, you know, everybody has a story, and somebody has my story, and I'm going to help somebody else be able to be confident in their self and know that they can be VIP, because I sat at Double Diamond almost on purpose. I sabotaged myself over and over because I was like, I'm not VIP. Like, that's not Nicole Camp, you know? And so I just had to learn that, like, heck yeah, I'm VIP. I'm going like ambassador. Like, we're like camp family ambassadors, you know what I mean? But that was just something I had to like learn, was that there's not one person more worthy than the other. And my past doesn't define my future, and neither does yours. And so it was that. I wrote a couple notes so I didn't ramble, even though I'm a little bit rambling. Yeah, just removing the negative. You know, we still, as we're like trying to come into our new circle, we still had some old circle, you know, and so we just had to remove that. And self-development was really just key in that, and just learning, more about, so my team's on here, y'all, I shove self-development down your throat. And if I know you're not reading a book, I'll send them a YouTube to listen to in the morning, because it's so important. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I cannot agree with you more. The power of our minds in this business can either hold us back or propel us forward in such a crazy way. And I mean, I feel like I've got to have a front row seat to your journey, and I love it. Like, I'm like, oh, I love you. I'm so proud of you. One thing I will say that I've always respected about you is you're like, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? Tell me what to do. And sometimes all you have to do is flip a switch. You can do all the stuff. I'm saying do now, but anyways, you can do all the stuff, but until that, and Melissa said that too, but until that switch flips and you're like, oh, I'm working from a different place, right? Like, being ambassador doesn't validate who you are. You're already validated, but sometimes we think, oh, I got to do this to validate who I am. But if we come from a place where we're like, I am like a creation of God. He thinks I'm amazing. What other validation do I need? And then work from that place. Like, so I am going to work my butt off, because I can do all things through Christ strengthens me. I am worthy of this stuff. And so I love it. I think it's so key what you're saying. Okay. Tell us really quickly, because we're getting close. Tell us really quickly about what you do every day.
Okay, so I know everybody talks about core 4, but I like to believe I'm an overachiever. So I actually have a core 7, and I grow my network every single day. I get up and Ryan and I do self-development every single day together in the morning, 4:30 a.m. Because I realized I was sleeping till 6:30, and that was 2 hours of work I could have had done before my kids even got out of bed. So I do the 4:30 a.m. thing, and we do our self-development. I grow my network every single day, like throughout the day, all day long, like 100 people. And I'm always maxed out on Facebook at like having 1,000 requests out. I interact. I think that that's huge, huge, huge. Some people have more followers than me, but I have more likes and comments. And that's just because of interaction. And that's not like, I always say, like, don't put something stupid like, oh, cool post, or like awesome photo. Like, be real. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be like, oh my gosh, your vacation looks incredible. Like, oh, I love your baby's getting so big, because some of these people I followed for 4 years now. You know what I mean? So that's huge. Interaction, posting every single day, never miss a day of posting. I blow up my stories for sure. I look at my charts, help my team chart, and look and see where they're at. And I always know how much volume away I am from stuff, whatever I'm working towards. I talk to my team every single day, especially my leaders. And layered leadership has been huge, because I get to talk to my leaders, and then I get to go to work. And then they talk to their, team, and then they get to go to work. And so I think just teaching your leaders along the way that, hey, you're a leader, like, you can do this, and you talk to your team. And, when they have questions, we just kind of go back and forth all day, but it frees up my time of having to like take care of all these other distributors. Self-development, I do too every single day. And so I always laugh. I say, Billy told me about Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is huge in my life. The 10X rule, if you don't have it, you should. And so I always say I take a shower with Grant Cardone every day, because I like hang my phone up in the bathroom, and while I'm like showering, getting ready, I can like listen to the Audible, you know what I mean? And then the I Ams from Joel Osteen has been huge too. So I think you need 2 self-developments every day. You need one for your head and one for your heart. So that's huge. And just teaching duplication. So like, if something's working, I can literally screenshot it and I can send it to my team message group really quick and be like, y'all, this post is blowing up or whatever. And just teaching your team to do what you do is huge. So those are kind of my 7.
I love it. That's awesome. Those are so good. So good. Okay. Melissa, Dean, let's come back to you really quick. Y'all, we'll fly through this quick, but I'm gonna ask y'all the exact same question because you just are fresh off of this, and I'm sure y'all going for it because I know none of y'all, even though y'all have a different story and a different plan, just like Dean said, Deans aren't quitters. None of y'all are pausing here. I know that. And so, anybody going for that promotion that month? And maybe you could share too, if we're fast, like somebody who's just getting started in the business, what do you want to tell them? And then somebody who's going for a promotion. Some of the people who are just getting started are going for those bonuses too. So talk in 1 minute, tell them.
Okay, super fast. Okay, so if you're just starting out, I would say the biggest piece of advice I have is don't compare yourself to other people's journeys, because some people go fast, some people go slow, some people go in the middle, but everybody goes. And as long as you keep going, you're going to get there no matter what you do. So comparison is the thief of joy. And I always tell my team, like, don't look sideline, don't look upline, only look downline, like work with people on your team. And together you guys are going to get where you want to go. So that would be like my biggest thing if you're just getting started. And then if you're pushing for a promotion, I would say work every day like it's the last day of the month and get your team that same sense of urgency, but don't forget your family. Like spend time, like take, what do I call it? It's like managing your personal energy. Like if you're working the business, work the business. If you're spending time with your family, spend time with your family. But like segment what you're doing so that when you're working your business, you're laser focused on it. And literally every day is like the last day of the month. Even my kids said it last night. They're like, Mom, is it the end of the month? Like you don't work this hard at the beginning of the month. And I'm like,
True story.
Yeah, they told Carl that. And I was like, well, I got to go press. So, but we went bowling today and I left my phone at home for 2 hours. So segment your time, but work your butt off like it's the last day of the month when you have your work time, and just go blinders on. That's my 2 things.
Oh, I love that. I love what you just said. I'm writing it down. Love it. Okay. Work is the last of the month, and use your time wisely when you have it, and you can still black it out and give work to the people around you. So good. So good. All right, Prez, here you come. I'm speaking it, girl. It's going to happen.
Yes. Can't wait.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay.
Welcome.
All right, Jen.
Yes. Okay. I would say that you just need to have belief in yourself, no matter what it is. Whether you're going for Ruby this month or you are going for Ambassador this month, you need to own it and claim it, and you need to believe that it's yours and you're worthy of it. And then all of your actions and everything that you do will start to fall in line with what it is that you're believing. So when you start telling yourself you're a Ruby leader, when you start telling yourself you're a Diamond leader or a presidential leader, you're going to start having that mindset, and you're going to start doing what you need to do every day to follow that. So I would have the belief in yourself. I'd work every single day, like kind of like Melissa just said. Don't let off. Some people sometimes let off in the middle of the month. You can't do that. You just got to keep pushing through, but be intentional with your time, and know that you are worthy of all the things. All the things. You're worthy of all the things.
I love that. All the things. You have to have a girl. I know it. I know you have a girl, but I'm like, you're a girl mom. All of it. You get all of it. I love that. Yes, see it, believe it, and work for it. And then, there you are. You'll be there. Speak it out. Okay. Love that, Jen. Thank you. All right, Melissa.
Okay. So I would just remember your why you started. For anybody that's first starting off, just always remember why you started and why you're wanting to do this business. Whatever the reasons may be, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, go for it. Treat it like it's your own business. If you're coming in treating it like it's a hobby, like this can't be you, you can't do it, then you're not going to do it. But if you come in knowing your why and why you're doing it, and dig somewhere deep, if you're just doing it because a friend asked you to, perfect, do it. But also find something, whether, hey, you love shopping, or I love shopping. I know we're all girls, we like to do it. Anything. It could be anything. Pay off some debt. I know, I have some debt I'm still trying to pay off. I mean, there's medical bills, anything, your house bill, your electricity. It's not necessarily that you may not need the extra income, but that's extra income not coming from whether it's you working right now or your spouse's check. So one thing that I can tell you is your why. Your why is going to drive you, and my why drives me every single day. Every single day, I'm trying to bring my husband home from that oil field life. So, and still to try to help him financially, because hey, we never know when that drop's going to come again. Number two, to promote, claim it, speak it, and believe it. Seriously, you got to claim it, write it down, put it on your mirror, put it on your notes, anywhere that you can see that every day. Hey, I have a whiteboard over there. It said triple diamond. I'm putting Prez on it. That's what I'm trying to hit in 2 months. Hey, it might happen this month. We don't know. With the way things are going, that would be awesome. That would be incredible. And so, like I said, claim it, speak it, and believe in yourself. That's one thing that you can do, is believe in yourself and believe in your team, and just keep that positive attitude going.
I love it. So good. Right? Speak it, believe it, and have that why that makes you go. Don't lose your why, because you can say no to posting. Maybe I don't want to post today, but you can't say no to, I don't think I want to bring my husband home from the oil field today. Right? I love that. So good. Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome.
All right, Nicole. Wait. Oh, I don't know why it's not unmuting.
Okay, am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Go, girl.
So I would say, like, don't drag a dead horse. Like, ask your team, like, hey, I'm running. Do you want to run with me? And if they don't sit there and be like, come on, girl, let's do this. Like, no, like, just find somebody else. You know what I mean? Or like, fill the box yourself. Like, that's where my red comes out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have time. So I'm like, you want to go? Let's go. You don't want to go? That's okay. So like all my runners, I have like a group with them. I'm like, girls, this is what I'm doing. Let's do it. And we sit and we do power hours for like 2, 3, 4 hours. I got it from Billy. Like, we just sit on power hour all day long. And I'm like, I can see your face. I know, you know, like, we're doing this. So I do that. So definitely don't drag people, because I wasted too much time in the business doing that before, and it didn't get me anywhere. Listen to your self-development every single day, and make sure that your mind is filled and you are thinking and speaking the right things over yourself and over your team. It's really easy not to work the business. So you have to make the decision that, like, you have to make it your personal duty, and like, this is my duty. Like, I have to do this because my kids' like future depends on it. Like, you have to make it so real, you know, or it's just easy not to do it. So you have to have something very real, very in front of you, you know, and know exactly what you're working for, and just run with your runners. And if you don't have a runner, you be that runner and you enroll people until you find one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things that Sherry always says is, it's like a deck of cards. So you don't have that runner, you got to keep flipping those cards till you turn over that ace, because that ace is in there somewhere, you know, and there's 4 of them. There's more, but you just keep flipping those cards till they're there, and you don't give up till you get them, because they're going to come. And so, y'all, this was so, I just feel so inspired. I just love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for giving this. So thank you so much for being you, because every one of you just gave something so powerful tonight. And I think if we could walk away from here, we could each see ourselves in somebody. I think you could each go, I relate to that. I can do that. And that would be the biggest hope that we have as leaders on this team, that people would walk away from some of these trainings or some of these stories and go, I have a little more belief today. I think I can do this too. I remember when that switch started to flip for me, and that was game changing for my business. So I pray that you guys have that. And I also think, you just see the different connections of how could this happen? I don't know. To me, I'm like, oh, Lord, you just work it all out. I pray every day for, ordained moments to happen, that the right people are supposed to cross the right people's paths. And, if you're on this Zoom, you're in the right place at the right time to just lock arms with somebody and just go for it. And so, I am just excited about this month. We are so in the beginning, and just all of you are like, you got to believe it and you got to work for it. And it's basically what Melissa said. We work this like every day, like it's the last day of the month. Think about what you did on the last day of the month last month, right? Anybody who went for a promotion, if you think about what you did on that last day, what if you did that, even half of that every day this month? You will have that next promotion. And so it is possible. It is there. It is real. So quit getting stuck in your mind in some kind of decision that you need to overcome, and go for it. Yes, worthy. I challenge every one of you to look in the mirror tonight before you go to bed and tomorrow morning before you wake up and just say, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Challenge you all. Look yourself in the eye and say it. How does that make you feel? Because I believe God's going to reveal something to you. And I will say that this business reveals the best of us and the worst of us. And sometimes that's why we give up, because we're like, ooh, I don't like seeing that person. I take a lot of time trying to hide that part of me. And I'm like, oh, this is like a mirror of that part. But what a gift that we have to overcome that God has given us a gift in this business to just become even just a better version of ourselves. And so, all right. Let's go this month. Bonuses are there. These guys have inspired me. Dear God, I thank you for each and every person that is on here right now in this moment. I do, just like I pray for myself and my team, I pray for this whole team, this Diamond Empire team, every leader that's on here, every person that's just getting started. Lord, give us those ordained moments, the people, just as Jen said, like we have a gift. You've given us a gift in this business. You've given us people as a gift in this business. May we not keep it to ourselves, God. The people that you would have join us, be with us, lock arms with us, just get to have a little bit of hope. May we open our mouths. May we say something. May we connect with them in a certain way, because it's awesome to see how your plan always works and always works for the good. I thank you. I thank you for each and every person on here, God. You have such a purpose for them that is beyond even this business. I thank you for the leaders, pray for Mark and Cindy and everybody who's making decisions. I pray for that's our covering, God. And I pray that you would just continue to give them favor and maybe just walk in everything that you have called us to walk in. May we be filled by you, that this business is not done in striving, but it's an outpouring, God, of who you've made us to be and who you say that we are. We give you all the glory. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Love y'all. Mwah. Let's rock this month. Yes. I think keep your eyes and ears open. We're probably having a party this week. So